Good evening. Tonight we bring you a story that could reshape the balance of power in one of the world's most contested regions. Across Asia, borders have always been more than just lines on a map. They're flashpoints, symbols of sovereignty, and sometimes, the spark for conflict. Tonight, we witness a bold move that's redrawing Asia's power map, sending ripples far beyond the region. On July 5, 2025, the Philippines did something extraordinary, not with warships or treaties, but with a map. In a world where power is often measured by military might, Manila chose a different weapon: cartography. In a packed press conference, government officials unveiled a new official map, one that would instantly become a symbol of national resolve. This new map boldly redefines the nation's territory, extending its reach to vast stretches of the South China Sea, now officially renamed the West Philippine Sea. The highlighted areas are not just claims, they are a statement of intent, a declaration that these waters, rich in resources and strategic value, are part of the Philippines' sovereign domain. The unveiling sent shockwaves from Beijing to Washington, D.C., a direct challenge to China's sweeping claims over these contested waters. For years, the Philippines protested Chinese incursions quietly, often behind closed doors or in diplomatic notes. Now the conflict is public, and the world is paying attention. The stakes have been raised, and the message is unmistakable. The new map is more than a document, it's a visual declaration. These are our sovereign waters, grounded in international law. President Ferdinand Marcos, Jr. addressed the nation in a televised speech, calling the map a tool for clarity, unity, and justice. He urged every Filipino to know the true boundaries of their nation, to stand together in defense of their maritime heritage, and to take pride in this bold assertion of national identity. This is both a domestic rallying cry and an international statement. Ambiguity is over. The world reacted swiftly. Southeast Asian neighbors watched with a mix of admiration and caution, aware that Manila's move could set a precedent. The US and Western powers reiterated support for a rules-based order, emphasizing the importance of international law and freedom of navigation. But all eyes were on China. How would the regional giant respond to this public challenge? The map is more than lines. It's a gauntlet thrown down, a test of resolve for all parties involved. For the Philippines, it's a high-stakes gamble: secure its maritime future, or risk escalating tensions with a far more powerful neighbor. The Navy and Coast Guard have stepped up patrols, while fishermen continue their daily work, now under the watchful eyes of the world. Every move is being scrutinized. Every encounter at sea could become a flashpoint. The message is clear. The time for quiet complaints is over. The Philippines is drawing a line, not just on paper, but in the shifting geopolitical sands of the South China Sea. The world is watching, waiting to see who will blink first. The stakes have never been higher, and the outcome could shape the future of Asia for generations to come. This new map is more than just a document. It's a bold declaration of national identity and sovereignty, a visual statement that echoes through the halls of history. It's a symbol of the Philippines' determination to define its own destiny, to draw a line in the sand and say, "This is who we are, and this is what we stand for." For decades, Filipino maritime rights have been quietly eroded by China's creeping presence in the region. Chinese vessels have steadily pushed further into waters that rightfully belong to the Philippines, challenging the nation's resolve and testing the limits of international law. The map sends a clear message: this far, and no further. It's a line drawn, not just on paper, but in the hearts and minds of every Filipino. It transforms the once abstract concept of the exclusive economic zone into a tangible boundary, one that every citizen can see, understand, and defend. Now, families, students, and communities can point to the map and know exactly where their rights begin and end. Grounded firmly in the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, or UNCLOS, the map is more than a claim. It's a legal affirmation. It visualizes the Philippines' rights to fishing, energy, and natural resources, and it provides a framework for sustainable development and stewardship of the nation's maritime wealth. This stands in sharp contrast to China's sweeping claims, which lack a clear legal basis and have been widely criticized by the international community. The Philippine map is rooted in law and principle, not in power or intimidation. The unveiling of this map marks a decisive shift in policy. Years of appeasement and quiet diplomacy have failed to protect Filipino interests. Now, the Philippines is standing firm, asserting its legal rights with clarity and conviction. For ordinary Filipinos, this map is more than a policy tool. It's a symbol of heritage and hope. It's a promise to the nation's fishermen that their livelihoods will be protected, and a rallying point for a people long shaped by struggle and resilience. In a country often divided by politics and geography, the map unites people around a simple, powerful story: standing up for home, for family, and for the future. Today, the map is a source of unity and pride. It's being taught in classrooms, celebrated in communities, and embraced as a new chapter in the nation's story. It's a courageous stand by a smaller nation against a global giant, a testament to the bravery and determination of the Filipino people, who refuse to be intimidated or silenced. The world is taking notice. As headlines spread and global leaders weigh in, the Philippines' stand for sovereignty is inspiring others and reshaping the conversation about justice, law, and the rights of nations, both large and small. At the heart of this simmering conflict lies China's infamous 9-line, a sweeping ambiguous claim that has cast a long shadow over the region for decades. This line, first appearing on Chinese maps in the mid-20th century, is not just a simple border. It's a bold assertion of control over vast stretches of the South China Sea, an area rich in resources and strategic value. China's claim extends to nearly 90% of the South China Sea, enveloping thousands of islands, reefs, and atolls. The sheer scale of this claim is staggering, covering waters that are crucial not only for regional countries, but for the entire world's shipping and commerce. This controversial line directly overlaps with the exclusive economic zones, or EEZs, of the Philippines, Vietnam, Malaysia, and Brunei, zones that international law says should belong to these countries. The result? A tangled web of competing claims and rising tensions. China justifies its sweeping claim by citing so-called historical rights, referencing ancient maps and records. Yet, it offers no clear legal basis recognized by international law, and its arguments have been repeatedly challenged in global courts and tribunals. The Philippines' westernmost islands, including the resource-rich Spratlys, fall squarely within this contested line. This has led to repeated confrontations at sea, with Filipino fishermen and patrols facing constant pressure. Chinese Coast Guard vessels and maritime militia frequently harass Filipino fishermen, block resupply missions to outposts, and assert their presence through aggressive maneuvers. And these actions disrupt livelihoods and escalate the risk of conflict. This is what experts call gray zone warfare. Persistent, non-military pressure designed to wear down Philippine resolve without triggering outright war. It's a strategy of intimidation and attrition. It's a classic David versus Goliath scenario. China's vast navy and booming economy pitted against the Philippines' much smaller forces. The imbalance is stark, but the stakes are enormous. To counter this pressure, the Philippines leans heavily on diplomacy, international law, and strategic alliances, especially its long-standing partnership with the United States and support from other regional allies. The South China Sea is more than a regional flashpoint. It's a vital artery for global trade, carrying trillions of dollars worth of goods each year. Beneath its waters lie vast reserves of oil, gas, and fish, making it a treasure trove of resources. Whoever controls these waters wields immense economic power and strategic leverage, shaping the future of the entire Indo-Pacific region. That's why the dispute is so intense, and why the unveiling of a new Philippine maritime map is such a significant move. It's a statement of sovereignty and a challenge to China's sweeping claims. The stakes here are not just national, but global. The outcome will shape international law, regional stability, and the balance of power for years to come. The world's eyes are fixed on these contested waters, watching closely as history unfolds in the South China Sea. The new map is a masterstroke of legal statecraft. Its strength comes from international law, not military might. Both the Philippines and China are bound by UNCLOS, which defines clear maritime entitlements. The Philippine map simply applies these rules, in stark contrast to China's vague 9-line. China's ambiguity is a strategic weakness. The Philippine map exposes it. By grounding its claims in law, Manila reframes the dispute as a legal argument it has already won. This internationalizes the conflict, inviting global support for a rules-based order. The map forces nations to choose law or coercion. It's not just Manila versus Beijing, it's law versus might. The world is being asked to take a stand. The map's legal foundation is more than theory. It's backed by a landmark court ruling. In 2013, the Philippines took China to international arbitration under UNCLOS. In 2016, the tribunal ruled China's 9-line has no legal basis, and its actions were illegal. China rejected the verdict, calling it waste paper, and continued its activities. The previous Philippine administration downplayed the victory, seeking Chinese investment. The new map changes everything. It operationalizes UTSUR ruling. By drawing boundaries in line with the tribunal's findings, the Philippines embeds the verdict into national identity. The map breathes new life into the ruling, forcing the world to confront China's defiance. The message: the verdict was not forgotten, and will now be fully asserted. The Philippines is reclaiming its legal victory. The world must respond. The new map has united the Philippines like few issues ever have. It's more than policy, it's a symbol of dignity and resilience. Schools teach it, artists celebrate it, and social media amplifies it. For fishermen, it's hope. For the nation, it's pride. The sea is central to Filipino identity, food, livelihood, and history. The map validates the struggles of those denied access to ancestral waters. Public support for a firm stance is at an all-time high. Defending the West Philippine Sea is now a national duty. This unity gives the government a powerful mandate. In this struggle, national pride is the Philippines' strongest weapon. China's reaction was swift and furious. Beijing condemned the map as a provocation and demanded its withdrawal. State media accused Manila of being a Western puppet and endangering regional peace. China could retaliate economically, restricting trade, tourism, and investment. The Philippines knew the risks, but chose sovereignty over short-term gain. At sea, China may escalate gray zone tactics, more aggressive Coast Guard actions, even occupation of new features. The greatest fear saw a miscalculation leading to military conflict, possibly drawing in the US-China's response is also a warning to other Southeast Asian nations. The Philippine map challenges Beijing's narrative, and the dragon's roar is meant for the whole region. The stakes are regional and global. This dispute is about more than islands. It's about survival, prosperity, and the global order. The West Philippine Sea is rich in fish, oil, and gas, vital for Filipino livelihoods and energy security. China's actions have blocked Manila from tapping these resources. The South China Sea is a global trade artery. Instability here threatens supply chains worldwide. The US, Japan, and others have a stake in keeping these lanes open and governed by law. At its core, this is a contest between rules and raw power. The Philippines' stand defends the principle that law, not might, should govern the seas. If China prevails, it sets a dangerous precedent for the world. The outcome will shape international order for decades. The world is watching and waiting. Amid the legal and political battles, the environment is a silent casualty. The South China Sea's reefs are among the world's most biodiverse, but they're under siege. China's island building has buried vibrant reefs under sand and concrete, destroying thousands of acres. Destructive fishing, cyanide, dynamite, giant clam harvesting has devastated marine life. Fish stocks are plummeting, habitats are turning to underwater deserts. The new map is also a cry for environmental justice. By asserting its EEZ, the Philippines claims the right and duty to protect these waters. The 2016 tribunal condemned China's environmental destruction. The fight for sovereignty is also a fight for the sea's survival. The stakes are not just political but ecological and generational.